We know that the area of a trapezium or a trapezoid is equal to half of base 1 plus base 2 multiplied by height. In this video, we are gonna prove how that is true. First, let's see what the formula actually means. It says that if we multiply half of the sum of base 1 and base 2 to the height of a trapezium, we get its area. In other words, if we take the average of the lengths of the two parallel sides of a trapezium and multiply it with the height, we get its area. Here we have a trapezoid where these are the parallel sides, base 1 and base 2, and this dotted line is the height of this trapezoid. Now let's prove that the area of a trapezium is equal to this. Let's bring this edge here. We get half of h multiplied by base 1 plus base 2 is equal to the area of a trapezoid. This is just the same thing written in a different way. Let's distribute this 1 by 2h over this b1 and over this b2. Now we get 1 by 2 base 1 into height plus 1 by 2 base 2 into height. And this is equal to the area of a trapezium. Now let's see what this means. First, let's see what B1H means. B1H is the area of a rectangle whose length is B1 and breadth or width is H. Let's see what that rectangle looks like. So this is the B1 multiplied by the height on this side, and let's draw the same on this side. And this is what that rectangle looks like. This orange figure over here is what the rectangle looks like. Its base is B1 and its height is H. And now we have a rectangle whose area is base 1 times the height of the trapezoid. But here we have half of the base 1 into height. That means that we have to take only half of this rectangle. We can divide it into two equal parts, but let me break up this rectangle into three parts and then divide all those parts into two parts. Let one of the part be a rectangle whose length is B1, whose length is B2 and height is H. So this is the height of that rectangle, which is H. On this side too. Let me do that here. And this is that rectangle whose base is B2 and the height or the breadth is H. And And let the remaining two parts, which is this part and this part, let these two parts be the other two parts. Now let's divide each of those parts into two equal parts. First, let's take this part and divide it into two equal parts. We can draw a horizontal line to do that, but let me divide it diagonally. Now notice, this is the leftmost part. This is the leftmost part of our trapezoid. We can do the same to this part and we can do the same to this part and divide it into two triangles. This triangle is a part of our trapezoid. We divided this part into two parts. Now we took this one and this is the part of our trapezoid. Now let's divide this rectangle with area equal to base 2 into h into two parts. We can divide it diagonally, but that's not necessary. So we will divide it with a horizontal line. So we finally figured out what, let me first color this. So we finally figured out what half of base 1 times height means. That is this area right here that I have colored. The only part of the trapezoid which is left is this part. If we look at the formula, we still have half of base 2 multiplied by h left. So the area of this left out part has to be equal to 1 by 2 b2h. And it is equal to 1 by 2 base 2 into h. The length of this part is base 2 and its breadth is half of the height of the trapezoid because we already took the other half of it. So 1 by 2 base 2 into height, 1 by 2 base 2 into height represents this area. And 1 by 2 base 1 into height represents this red area. And now we have finally proved how the area of a trapezoid is equal to half of base 1 plus base 2 multiplied by the height of a trapezoid. I hope you understood. In the next video, we will try to prove it a bit more mathematically.